So The Ordinary has reformulated one of their most famous, most popular serums, the hyaluronic acid serum. And guess what? I've already tried the new version. So today I will tell you all about the changes and whether or not this new formula is any good. In case you don't know me yet, hi, I'm Ulrike. I am a key beauty and skincare content creator and have been creating content since 2015-16, so for a really long time, and I'm really happy to have you with me on this skincare journey. And let's get on with this little bad boy. So the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid Serum, I believe, was one of the original products, or certainly one of the first products from this brand. And it was also one of the first ones to go really viral. It was always touted as this perfect, simple, hydrating serum. Also, it was at a time where hyaluronic acid wasn't the super well-known, ubiquitous ingredient that it's today, where it was still relatively unknown in the West. It was more kind of a key beauty or in general Asian beauty thing. Taiwanese beauty also uses hyaluronic acid a lot. And so it was a bit of a revolutionary product. However, I remember I really did not like this original formula at all because it was very sticky and it was just kind of almost a little bit grainy. It was just very inelegant and I didn't like it. Most of the original, the Ordinary products I don't really like, mostly due to texture issues. And now it got an even bigger upgrade. And this is the new formula, which I have the older version, which I got sent in PR like last year, I believe. So this is the new version. This is the older version. I'll show you a close-up of both because they actually look a little bit different. And I don't know if my camera will catch this here. But the new version is a little bit yellow tinted. So that's how you can tell the difference. And that yellow tint comes from the added ceramides that are now part of the formula. It's not the only thing that has changed. The upgrade is actually quite interesting. Before I dive into the key ingredients though, let's just look at what this serum actually is. Some basic information in case you haven't tried it yet. It is a water-based hydrating serum with the key ingredient hyaluronic acid and B5. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. It is fragrance and alcohol free, as are pretty much all the Ordinary products, and it is a vegan formula. It is meant to be a basic hydrating serum, so it replenishes hydration and water loss in the skin, and through that, it can also help make skin look plumper. It's not an anti-aging serum as such. I think a lot of people get that wrong about hyaluronic acid in general, that it's supposed to help with wrinkles. It doesn't do anything for actual wrinkles that already are part of your skin. Only something like retinol can do something about that. But if you have very dehydrated skin, wrinkles will show more prominently on your face. So if you replenish the moisture loss of your skin, then yes, your skin might look a little bit plumper and by that also a little bit smoother. So let's go through the key ingredients for this new formula, which honestly are pretty much the same as the old formula, except for the newly added ceramides. The number one key ingredient is, of course, the hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is what is called a humectant. So it is a water-grabbing ingredient. No, it doesn't grab the water from your skin and thus make you more dried out. That is one of those myths surrounding hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, pure hyaluronic acid, is actually a powder. So when it is used in serums like this one, runny, watery serums, how do you get the powder into a watery consistency? Guess how? You add water. So any hyaluronic acid serum already has water in it. This is also why you don't need to spritz your face before you use hyaluronic acid, because it can just use the water that is already in there. Plus, it doesn't really absorb water in that way that I think a lot of people think. So it doesn't suck it out of the layers of the skin. This is just how it works, okay? Trust me, and if you don't trust me, watch Lab Muffin's content on this because she has talked about this a couple of times already. So the old formula of this serum contained 2 types of hyaluronic acid. The new formula, according to the brand, contains 5 types. in various different molecular weights. Now, I looked at the ingredient list. I could only find 3 types of hyaluronic acid, but then I'm not an ingredient list specialist, so maybe it was hidden in one of the other ingredients. The official brand statement is that it's 5 types of hyaluronic acid, so more various types of hyaluronic acid than the old formula. This is a good thing because different types of hyaluronic acid with different molecular weights do different things on the skin. Those with a higher weight, molecular weight, do more of a have more film building properties. So they stay on the skin and almost create like a protective layer. This is also why they usually feel a little bit stickier. Whereas the lower the molecular weight is, the better it is absorbed into the skin. Not fully absorbed, but it can penetrate a little bit better. And thus it creates that plumping effect. So the main change to the new formula is, of course, the added ceramides. Or to be precise, they are called sphingolipids, which I had to look up and still don't fully understand because I'm not a science-based skinfluencer. But from what I understand, these are lipids that naturally occur in the skin barrier, like the ceramides as well. And they have a similar function or are identical. This is the part that I didn't quite understand. But basically, they are lipid molecules that help keep the skin barrier supple. They have emollient properties, so that means they are moisturizing to the skin. So that means that now this formula isn't just a purely hydrating serum, but it now also has skin softening and skin conditioning properties. Plus, it is even better for skin barrier health. So that's all pretty exciting. And the last addition to the formula, although this one was also in the old one, which again I have here. This is the old version, which I'll be honest, I've hardly used the old version. I started using it to be able to compare them. Before that, I kind of just had it sitting in my shelf and I wasn't that excited about it. But anyway, that one also had B5 in it. So that's not a new addition. That was just in the old formula as well. And B5 is basically just panthenol. And panthenol is a really great all-rounder ingredient that has been around for ages and ages. Here in Germany, panthenol cream is like a pharmacy staple for us. We just use it for like scrapes and burns and flaky skin, and you can get it for really cheap here. It's just a very cheap sort of whitish cream that you can just put on everything. Panthenol is really good as an anti-inflammatory. It helps with, again, flaky skin. It calms down skin. It is skin soothing. And it helps to support the skin barrier and can even be wound healing. As for how I got on with the product or whether or not I like this new formula, as I said, the old formula I haven't used that much actually, but I did use it a couple of times now to be able to compare them. I do vaguely recall trying this when it launched a long time ago as a sort of tester, or just tested out on the back of my hand. I distinctly remember the old formula being very sticky. Now this older formula also still had a certain almost stringiness to it. When I applied it, it kind of draws out when you do this motion. I'll show you in a close-up as well. So I put that in somewhere here so you can see what I mean. And it also had this slight tendency to build a bit of a white film on the skin when you rub it in. So it wasn't super terrible in terms of formula elegance, but it certainly wasn't super hyper impressive. Now this new formula with the added ceramides, the slightly yellow tinted new formula, I can absolutely notice and even see a difference and an improvement in texture. Really, really impressive. If this is the first time you watch my videos or have ever seen me, you might not know this about me, but I actually was never a big The Ordinary fangirly, which is why it's very surprising that they put me on their PR lists. This is the only PR list I'm on at the moment. I tend to be kicked off PR lists very easily because I'm very honest in my review. So at the moment, this is the only one I'm on. And I was surprised by it because in the past, I have not always talked well about The Ordinary. So I'm always very straightforward and honest. But I do have to say, it is a really interesting texture upgrade. And also compared to some other simple hyaluronic acid serums that I've tried, both from Korean brands as well as German brands, and Geek and Gorgeous has 2 hyaluronic acid serums. I have to say, again, this is unusual for me still, but this really kind of kicks their butt at the moment. This is pretty damn good. First of all, the texture now is not as sticky or stringy anymore. It is very, very elegant. It absorbs noticeably faster than most other hyaluronic acid serums that I've tried. You can even tell when you compare it to the older formula. I kind of tried both at the same time on the back of my hand. You can tell that the new version, which is the new version, this one, it's always the yellow one, that the new version just sinks in much faster. And it doesn't leave that white film that you sometimes get, again, with more sort of cheaper hyaluronic acid formulas. Plus, once it's absorbed into skin just feels so soft. I'm guessing it's because of the added ceramides. I'm not sure, but the skin softening properties of the formula are now so much more impressive than they were with the previous one. Once it's absorbed, it also leaves the skin just so smooth. I tried it for the first time, and then afterwards I kind of could really feel, you know how you sometimes when you're super hyper moisturized and then you kind of do this sort of gliding motion over your cheeks. Sometimes when your skin is in a really good mood and you've really taken good care of it, you feel that sort of sliding down motion, like just like it's almost polished. And this is what I feel when I use this. As with all hydrating serum, it does also have a slight plumping effect, although I wouldn't overhype that effect. Again, I think it's very important to remember that hyaluronic acid is not a miracle ingredient. It is just a hydrator. So it does not magically fill your wrinkles or smooth out wrinkles, and it cannot do that. And I don't expect it to do that. For me, it just hydrates, it plumps, and again, potentially because of the added ceramides, I'm not sure, it just really smooths skin and makes it feel just so velvety and softened. And that I find very impressive for what is still technically just a basic hydrating serum. Now, the one thing I have to say is that this apparently had a price increase. This is 30 milliliters and it costs $9.90 or €9.90 if you buy it in Europe. I don't know how much the previous formula cost because I only got it in PR, so I never bought it. But from how I understand it, there was a price increase. There's been a lot of price increases lately with the Ordinary. And I don't know how to feel about that, simply because I think they are in danger of maybe alienating their original fan base and their original supporters that made the brand what it is today. And I don't think that's a very good idea. The whole point of the Ordinary was always to offer affordable skincare. Now, I do think that paying $10 for a very good hydrating serum with a truly good texture, an elegant texture, is still a fair price. However, the Ordinary products used to run around like $6, $7, $8. And that was kind of what they got known for. So I just wonder down the line how well this strategy will pay off. I truly do not know. Time will tell, I guess. So I do think it is worth the money, but I also can understand people complaining about all the price increases and all the latest products being quite noticeably pricier than what the brand used to bring out. Since I'm not an OG fan, I'm neutral about the prices. Of course, it's also easier to talk about pricing when you yourself get stuff sent for free. I would be very interested to hear what you guys think about this. Would you say that $10 for this serum is justified or not? There is a danger of alienating the people that made the brand large, you know? But all in all, I really do think this is a beautiful serum. And the added ceramides, the improved formula, was a truly successful relaunch and reformulation. And that was my review of the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid Serum, which I liked a lot. Who would have thought? Can you hear? It would be fantastic if you stuck around. Subscribing to this channel is always a big help. I'm still growing very slowly, trying not to give up, which is sometimes a bit difficult when you don't see the growth that you would like. So if you want to support this small channel, it would be wonderful if you could subscribe. Liking videos also always helps. Writing nice comments is also always appreciated. And it truly would be interesting to me to hear, especially from maybe OG, the Ordinary lovers, how you feel about all the changes, the new products, and the potentially questionable pricing strategy. I post a new video every week, so I see you again next week, hopefully. And until then, please take care. Bye!